defense, eh? You move. Where is the security here?
To go before we start officially introducing you to the team that I'm sure a lot of you know who we're looking at already at the moment. It's the first of the men's semi-finals coming up. In case you missed it a short while ago, the Netherlands ladies through to their 13th successive final. So a comprehensive victory for France. They'll make the winners of the second ladies semi-final coming up at 6:15, also between Germany and Great Britain.
Hello, good afternoon, and a very warm welcome to the University of Worcester, where you join us for semi-final action in the men's tournament of the European Wheelchair Basketball Championships. And what a display, what a matchup we have in store, because it features Germany against Great Britain. Always fantastic matchups, whatever the sport, and these two teams have plenty of rivalry, plenty of history between them over the years and during the course of this tournament. This a Final Four matchup. We're at the semi-final stage. Both of these teams have booked their places in Rio 2016 next year. That's part of the mission accomplished, but now they are playing for places on the podium. The victor will go through to the gold medal game. Great Britain hoping to secure, working to secure their third successive European Championship gold. Germany looking to get back on the podium after missing out at their home tournament in Frankfurt 2 years ago. So Ronald McIntosh alongside Dan Johnson in the commentary box. This is a lineup of what's taking place here at the picturesque University of Worcester. We've already had the first semi-final in the women's competition. The Netherlands duly booking their place in another gold medal game at the European Basketball Championships. And alongside them will be either Germany or Great Britain. That semi-final taking place later on this evening. And then we'll conclude the evening session with the final men's semi between Turkey and the Netherlands. But our focus of attention for the next couple of hours or so here at the University of Worcester is this first men's semi-final between Germany and Great Britain. Germany will be wearing white as the designated home team, Great Britain in their chain strip of red. So Dan Johnson alongside us in the commentary box. And Dan, you've been here all tournament long, and you've picked out a couple of players to watch from either side from these two powerhouses in European basketball.
Yeah, difficult job to pick out two star players, actually, Ronald, because both teams have go deep. But certainly, looking at the German lineup, they play a very high-powered offensive game. They are the leading scorers in the tournament. Team score of 80 points a game they're averaging. GB, on the other hand, their game points total is 74 a game, and that is third. So two high-powered offenses. There we see that man, Alexander Haluski, the number 12. He is such an important figure for Germany. They have perimeter shooters in Boehmer, Binek and Pasiwan, but that man Haluski keeps teams honest by battling down low. There we see Binek, the number 11, sat next to Haluski.
now
Jan Haller, the German 2-point player. And the introductions are happening on the floor as GBL coming out and being introduced to the audience.
So the Great Britain squad pushing and rolling out onto the floor, being introduced to the crowd in attendance here at the University of Worcester. So many familiar names, but emerging talent as well being worked in to the Great Britain programme, looking for their third successive European Championship gold. But remember, they're facing a German team who gave them a comprehensive beating during the course of pool play.
And now the opposition, the German lineup today.
Bounced back since that time, come into this game riding a 2-game winning streak, Great Britain.
Yeah, that 34-point loss to Germany that you mentioned, Ronald, that certainly was the low point for the GB team in this tournament. And those wins against Spain and then the comprehensive win last night in the quarter-final v Italy were much needed, because the morale after the loss to Germany looked very low, but the team have come back strong, and it's testament to the character of the players, the experience of the players, and also to the coaching staff of Coach Bahania and assistant coach Alan Mansell.
Germany, for their part, they had a comfortable victory over Israel by a 21-point margin at their quarter-final stage, 75 points to 54. They prevailed over Israel after going undefeated, 5-0 during pool play in Pool A. Let's pause for the national anthems here at the University of Worcester.
In the absence of the music, perhaps you care to join in and sing the national anthem of Great Britain. And now the national anthem of Germany.
So Great Britain performing an a cappella version of their national anthem. No such problems endured by the German team. Deutschland über alles pumping out on the PA system here at the University of Worcester. So pre-match handshakes ahead of what is the second encounter here at the 2015 European Wheelchair Basketball Championships between these two teams. There's the squad list for Great Britain. They've been rotating heavily.
Yeah, we'd like to be able to bring you the starting fives, but the stats not up at the moment. If I was to speculate, I'm not sure they could make too good a job of it, because they have changed the starting unit for GB. The unit that started last night: Gaz Chowdhury, Simon Brown, Bywater, Adi Olegbemi, and who was the other? I can't even think of the fourth member, Ronald. So a difficult choice for me to guess. So we'll have to just wait and see on that one as the German list comes up in front on the screen.
So Terry Bywater now the team's leading scorer after a terrific performance yesterday during the course of that quarter-final victory over Italy.
Yep, Bywater was absolutely outstanding, and we mentioned that GB have come back strongly since that heavy defeat to Germany. That man, the number 7 that we're looking at there, he led that team 24 against Italy, 27 against Spain. He can heat up very quickly, Terry Bywater. We're going to need a performance of that sort of standard today, Ronald, if GB are going to come through this one. There we see the other superstar of the GB team, Abdi Jama, the one-pointer. His shooting has been unbelievable in this tournament, currently shooting at 62% from two-point range, averaging 14 points a game. The high point for him was the 29 points he scored against Poland, which I described as perhaps the greatest performance of range shooting from a one-point player that I'd ever seen.
So the German team list, again, we are still unable to bring you a confirmed starting 5 for the German team. But they have the tournament's second top scorer in the form of Thomas Burma, their number 14. And the second leading rebounder in the form of Alexander Haluski, the naturalized Belarusian who now wears the German colours in terms of international competition.
Yeah, I'll probably be able to forecast that starting 5 with a bit more certainty. The number 4 Lohman, 8 Binek, 12 Haluski, 14 Boma, and Jan Haller, the number 13. That is the starting lineup that coach Zeltinger has put out in every game of the tournament so far. So I hope I've got that one right, but as Ronald mentioned, we cannot confirm that at the moment because the live stats have not come up.
So Nikolai Zeltinger and his opposite number, Haj Barnia, just going through the final pre-match instructions ahead of this crucial semi-final matchup. Remember, when they met in the group stages in Pool A, it was a commanding victory enjoyed by Germany over Great Britain, but Great Britain have bounced back since that time and will be feeling really confident, particularly after a comprehensive quarter-final victory over Italy yesterday. They shot 60% from two-point range, 43% from three-point territory. Terry Bywater led all scorers with 24 points, and there were only 2 lead changes in that game. So Italy started hot early. It was tied up at 25, and I think once Great Britain got their noses in front, they were pretty difficult to reel in, and then went away to win at a canter over Italy. And they'll be feeling in good spirits after that comprehensive victory yesterday.
Yep, the ball movement from the GB team in that game last night was so much better than it had been earlier in the tournament. And because they often have a number of scorers on the floor at any one time, when they move the ball effectively, their offense fires effectively. We're just seeing the teams slapping hands for the last time. The starting 5s are coming out now. So this GB starting 5. 5 Simon Brown, 4 Gaz Chowdhury, 7 Bywater, 10 Jama, and 15 Olegbemi. So
there are your starters for Great Britain. Germany undefeated in pool play, and of course at the quarter-final stage, a 6-game winning streak compiled by the Germans. Great Britain coming in on a 2-game winning streak after suffering that reversal in pool play, 55-89 at the hands of Germany a few days ago, but they've bounced back to win their final group game against Spain and the knockout against Italy. So the opening tip is up, and it is tapped out of bounds. So Great Britain will have the first possession from the sideline, just inside the German half. Last touch by the Germans on that opening tip. So Abdi Jammer sporting a new Go Faster haircut, cut from what he had yesterday, and Terry Bywater opens his account with a long-range two, just as he did yesterday against the Italians.
Yep, Terry, if he's open on that first offence, he will always launch from there. Then you'd have thought the Germans would have known that, but he makes them pay. Excellent start for the number 7.
Binek working his way just towards the free throw lane, but was fouled by Adi Orogbemi, his first. Adi Orogbemi pleading his case to the referee. Huge whistle for the first foul on Germany's first offense. So Germany inbound with the shot clock at 14. Binek has it, he's guarded by Brown, works his way baseline, bullet pass, finds a streaking Jan Haller, the 2-point classification player, can't convert.
Yeah, good luck for Haller there. GB, this is one of the problems they've got, in that if they concentrate too much, you see that that's the three-pointer from Bywater. Excellent three-point shooter, but if GB defensively concentrate too much on the big players for Germany, it allows Haller those opportunities. He'll be disappointed not to have taken advantage.
So Great Britain 3, Germany yet to score. That long-range shot to open the account of Great Britain was indeed a three-pointer. Bywater spins on the baseline from the low post, and he's short on the shot. So it's in the hands of Burma, Germany's top scorer. Bullet passed inside, finds Haller, taken away by Chowdhury with active hands. Simon Brown ignites the fast break for Great Britain.
Yeah, well done, Gaz Chowdhury, getting active early on the defensive end. Offensive player, Gaz, but he's straight to the lane now with the easy layup and no mistake.
Wonderful movement off the basketball. Simon Brown with the vision to find him. This was the activity at the defensive end to break up the play, and then it was those same two players, Simon Brown and Gaz Chowdhury, who led it all the way down the court to get a basket. Not a fast break, but a secondary break for GB. They lead by 5. That shot drained from the wing. Thomas Burma, second top scorer in the tournament, opening his account. Great Britain leading by 3. Germany 2, Great Britain 5. Just about 2 minutes gone in this opening period. Streaking to the hoop is Simon Brown. Can't get it to fall. Rebound hauled in by Haluski.
Simon Brown will be disappointed to have missed that one. It is difficult to convert down there in the land of the giants, but to be honest, he still feel he should have got that as Haluski into the paint now, and Haluski scores.
Haluski, the 4.5 classification player, former able-bodied player. What a transition he has made to the wheelchair game. Terrific rebounder, terrific scorer as well, Haluski.
And so big as well. He doesn't look, he's deceptively big, Ronald. He plays the passing lanes very well. And I think that he is the missing piece for Germany, because he gives them inside presence. They've always had good outside shooters, and now they have offense from inside also.
Bywater has it. Simon Brown cuts into the lane off the screen. Chowdhury with the reception and the finish. The feed from Simon Brown. Great Britain clicking early. They lead by 3.
Fantastic play by Simon Brown there. Again, he had a chance to shoot, but as the players came across, he found Chowdhury. That was a quality assist.
So Burma has it. Finds himself in a place of congestion, so pushes out to the perimeter. Finds Binek. Shot clock is down to 5. Burma has it once more. Haluski in the paint. Doesn't get the roll. Chowdhury with the board. Great Britain off and pushing in transition.
I mentioned that GB have been a bit static in the earlier games, but it's Germany that are a bit static at the moment, as Gaz Chowdhury launches his first shot from downtown, and he makes it.
So 2 3-pointers in the early stages for Great Britain. Gaz Chowdhury kept it in his hands. Perfect behind the arc. 2 for 2 so far. Great Britain leading Germany by 6. Haluski in the free throw lane, holding the ball high up above all of the defenders. Bywater with the board. He's got options up front. Gaz Chowdhury is pushing hard down the left side. Adi Orogbemi is keeping Thomas Burma out of the proceedings. Now watch him turn on the Jets. He's currently 4-on-4. Bywater exploiting the space, nailing the open shot. Great Britain off to a terrific start. Germany 4, Great Britain 8, coming up on 4 minutes gone in this opening quarter.
5 points for Bywater. Bemi there held the player back in the backcourt, and then they just used the extra space given on the 4-on-4, looking for that mismatch. Bywater takes advantage as Haluski passes to the middle.
Burma from the perimeter and bottomed the shot. Defenders not close enough, and the team's leading scorer at 22 points a game doesn't need a second invitation from that type of range.
55% from the floor for Burma during the tournament, and so when you give him those easy opportunities, he's not going to miss. And another man who has the touch. Excellent board by Chowdhury.
Couldn't get the stick back to fall. Binek with the board. Great Britain showing a mild press, but Germany break it easily. Burma with a one-on-one now, takes it into the lane. He's met by Bywater. Adiora Bemi out of his chair on this near side. No whistle. Haluski hassled by Brown, but to no avail. Haluski gets the shot and will go to the free throw line to try and add one more.
Haluski just showing the power there of the number 12. Great defense played by Adi Oylegbemi, but he was just barged out the way there by the big number 12. So he will go to the line, Haluski. Unbelievable. I hope we get a chance to have a look at that at some stage, because that was just the sheer size and power of the number 12.
So Alexander Haluski completes a 3-point play. And Germany right back in this game, despite the sizzling start that Great Britain have made, and you'd expect nothing less with a place in the gold medal game at stake here at the University of Worcester. Bywater, hassled by Haluski, fires a three under heavy pressure, no good. Rebound secured on the inside by Adiora Bemi. Terrific positioning, and then strength to keep it alive. Abdi Jama has it, far side, looks at the shot, goes to the shot fake. Chowdhury has it at the perimeter. Good ball movement around the outside by Great Britain. Rim shot hauled in by Haluski for another board.
Yeah, the battle for the boards is going to be important to the outcome of this game. GB, if they can get some offensive rebounds, important as Burma inside again, then finishes off the glass.
So we have a 1-point basketball game. Great Britain started with a flurry of offense. 3-pointers from Chowdhury and Bywater. The first score of the game was a long-range 3 from downtown from the Great Britain number 7. But Germany retain their poise and are right back in this 1-point game. Shot clock still very high for Great Britain, surprisingly so. So Burma has it. He's orchestrating things for Great Britain. Haluski has got himself in position, but he's guarded by Bywater down by the hoop. Burma goes to the swivel. Simon Brown gets right back in good defensive positioning, and then it's taken away by the swarming Adiora Bemi. Last touch by Gaz Chowdhury. He can't control it. But Great Britain showing really intense defense in the early stages of this game. So we have a timeout on the floor. 3 minutes 49 seconds remaining, and it is Great Britain, the home team, leading Germany by 1. Germany 11, Great Britain 12 in this first period. And here you see Adiora Bemi being just extricated from his chair by the powerful Alexander Haluski, who went to the free throw line to complete a 3-point play.
So we see Coach Bahania now making tactical adjustments, but I've been impressed with the German team. GB, as you mentioned, Ronald, got off to the hot start, but they just made a couple of defensive alterations there. They started pushing higher out, making the pick and roll opportunities happen further away for the basket, and that allowed them then to get help defense over more effectively. And when the likes of Simon Brown and Adi Oylegbemi are driving to they can't finish over the top of people like Binek. So we'll see what adjustment Coach Hadj makes now.
Germany already back out on the floor. GB taking every second of that intermission to get their strategy set, ensure that everybody's on the same page. It's the same 5 who emerged from the timeout to take up defensive responsibilities as Germany looked to inbound from the end line with Binek. So Binek, uncontested, lined up the shot. Bywater was late on the rotation. Binek couldn't convert.
Binek can shoot from those sort of positions, though. So if we keep giving him good opportunities like that, he will eventually take its toll. But one shot offense for Germany. We can't. Oh, that's a careless pass there. Abdi Jama as the 1-point player, unable to reach down there because he hasn't got that core stability. So it's a turnover. Here we see it.
Into the base of his wheels almost. Abdi Jama with no chance to reel that one in. Turnover is the result. Germany looking to go ahead on this possession. So Binek is met by Jama. Binek, remember, a 3-point classification player. Now he's picked up by Brown. Skip pass to nobody in particular. And travelling violation. Too many pushes without bouncing the basketball. Germany turn it right back over.
And that was caused by the defensive pressure of the number 5, Cy Brown there, forcing Binek to have to swivel his chair. Was adjudged to have touched his wheel 3 times before he bounced the ball. Hence the travel called.
So 3 minutes remain as Abdi Jama keeps it himself and nailed the shot from the perimeter to give Great Britain a 3-point lead. Germany 11, Great Britain 14 in the opening period of this men's semi-final. What a shot off the window by Alexander Haluski.
Yep, he can shoot outside and in. 19 points a game in the tournament so far at 61%, so an impressive player. And Abdi Jama just continuing where he's left off in this tournament as an defensive foul is called there, I think, against the German number 14 it was actually, Thomas Burma. That's his first. Jama, the second leading scorer for GB with 14 points a game in the tournament.
So Bywater has it. On the left side, finds a streaking Adi Orabemi, who makes the layup at high speed. Terrific conversion by the 2.5 classification player, 32 years of age now, and such an important cog in the Great Britain machine. On this near side, as Haluski goes to the drift back fadeaway. Adi Orabemi was in the vicinity, but a good shot, a good look by Haluski, who's now being kept out of the game by Orabemi. 4-on-4 action right now. Bywater has it on a baseline, drifts back, good look at the hoop. He was guarded by Binek, couldn't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, Bywater thought he was fouled there, and we've seen it happen a couple of occasions now. The 4-on-4 just gives more space to the offense players and a mismatch because the 2 bigs for GB are down the floor. Adi Orabemi keeping one of the German bigs back as Binek launches from downtown.
Back iron, rebound pulled in by Bywater. As well as being the team leading scorer at 15.3 points a game, he's also the top man in that category as well. Just over 7 boards for the Great Britain number 7. So Chowdhury has it, spins, keeps it himself, launches from the wing, in and out, doesn't get the roll. Binek with the board, thought about a long quarterback pass to the streaking Thomas Burma, but kept it himself. Now Germany have the advantage in numbers, but Bywater back, but still a streaking Burma. What a finish!
Yeah, 8 points for Burma now. We see that Germany take advantage of this transition opportunity. Nice finish by Burma.
So it remains a 1-point game. Germany 15, Great Britain 16. Jama fires from the wing, front rim on the shot. Haluski with another board. Binek brings it over the halfway line.
GB guilty of taking early shots here, which is playing into the Germans' hands because they are getting out on transition. GB, I'd just like to be a bit more patient on the offensive end.
So Burma, guarded by Brown, whip pass finds Binek, who curls into the lane. Front iron on that shot, big collision between Burma and Gaz Chowdhury on the baseline. Last touched by Germany, and it will be Great Britain ball from the end line. So checking into the game for Great Britain are Ian Sagar and Philip Pratt is taking a seat. Simon Brown and Gaz Chowdhury. Terrific contribution by those two.
Yeah, I think that they wanted those substitutions to happen a little bit earlier, but sometimes in basketball the whistle doesn't blow, does it, Ronald? And so they can't get them into the game. So just 3 seconds left in this quarter for Jama to do something, and he does.
So Abdi Jama beats the first quarter buzzer from the perimeter to give Great Britain a 3-point advantage over Germany in what has been a terrific first 10 minutes of wheelchair basketball. At the conclusion of the first, as this was Jammer under pressure from the quarter clock, still able to bottom it, and that made it Germany 15, Great Britain 18, with 3 quarters remaining in this men's semi-final here at the University of Worcester.
Important last basket for Jammer, I felt, because GB's offense had just been stuttering a little bit. No ball movement and early shots were allowing Germany to get away on transition, and I like that substitution that came in. Perhaps it came in a little bit late. As I said, I don't know whether that's because Hadj couldn't get them in, as we see the German coach Zeltinger there talking to his team. He's the coach of the Lahn-Dill club, who are the most successful club in Europe, and Thomas Burma, his star player, the number 14, also plays at Lahn-Dill, as does Bjorn Lohman, the number 4, and number 7, Christoph Humer. So the backbone of the team is from Lahn-Dill, and it's no surprise because they are champions of Europe again this season.
So the game intriguingly poised at the conclusion of the first period. Very little in it. It's a 1-possession game. Abdi Jammer beating the buzzer for his 4th points of the game. Bywater has 5, including that first long-range 3 to open his account. It's Thomas Burma with 8 and Haluski with 7, the sole scorers for Germany. Just a 2-man tandem right now, putting all 15 German points on the board. And so as we begin this second period, it will be Germany to inbound from the halfway line.
Germany shooting at 50% in that first quarter, Ronald, whereas GB just shooting at 40%. But I like this lineup that's into the game now. Sagar and Pratt, they've always made an impact. Burma can't get it to go, but once again, that man Haluski gets the boards. Just got to keep the big number 12 off the boards, otherwise it's going to be tough for GB.
So a 1-possession game becomes a 1-point game. Germany 17, Great Britain 18. 30 seconds gone in this second quarter. Jammer finds Pratt. He rotates it to Bywater. The tattooed Bywater pulls the trigger from the baseline and drains it. So much experience has been accumulated by Terry Bywater. Nice ball movement around the perimeter, and the 4-time Paralympian was the beneficiary as he nailed his 7th point of the game. Haluski again, right back at you, hitting from all over the court. Alexander Haluski.
There was a problem towards the end of the first quarter, and it's happening again. GB are not getting their matchups right, and that number 12, unless he has a big player, then has Phil Pratt down low now, and he finishes with his first opportunity.
Nice find from Terry Bywater, the leading scorer, turning helper on that particular occasion. Philip Pratt opens the count and increases Great Britain's lead back to 3, streaking down the lane. Oh, Thomas Burma with the finish and the foul. He'll go to the free throw line with the opportunity for a 3-point play.
Double digits for Burma, there we see it. Driving to the lane, Sagar must have just got a bit of a touch on him there, so it is the and 1. And for GB, the question that has to be asked is, have they got the defensive expertise to be able to stop this high-powered offense of Germany? Still early days though, Ronald.
So Thomas Burma completes the 3-point play. We are tied at 22 points apiece. Semi-final action here at the University of Worcester in the European Wheelchair Basketball Championships. Sagar has it taken away. Burma has it. He's guarded by Abdi Jammer. Keeps it this near side. Dirk Pastiwan, the bullet pass. Haluski in heavy traffic. He had Sagar in front of him. Bywater closing him down from the back. But to no matter, he still drained it. As cool and composed as you like. Germany lead by 2.
Yeah, Haluski is causing GB all sorts of issues. We're not getting the defensive matchup correct, so often he ends up being matched up against one of the smaller guards, and the advantage that GB should have playing a sort of 3 big lineup there with Sagar, Pratt and Bywater is that those sort of defensive mistakes should not occur.
Bywater from 3-point territory. Doesn't drain it. Pastiwan with the board. Germany looking to extend their lead. It's in the hands of Heimbach. He was guarded by Jammer. Now it's with Burma, who's met by Bywater. Jammer converges. And now it's Jammer who picks up defensive responsibility. Pasiwan from the elbow. Uncontested shot effectively because Great Britain were late on the rotation. Germany lead by 4.
Yeah, Pasiwan never going to miss that shot. He's only played 20 minutes average in the tournament, so coming off the bench, the veteran, but he is so effective. 17 points at 61%, 7 boards and 6 assists in those 20 minutes average for, per game. And every time he comes on, he has a massive impact. They don't have a 6-man award in this tournament, Ronald, as they do in the NBA. The best player off the bench, but if there was such an award, Pasiwan would be an absolute certainty to win it.
So much experience under the belt of Dirk Pasiwan now. Taken away by Haluski. The shot did just clip the rim, but that deflection by Haluski ate up some more seconds, making an even more pressurized shot. So Great Britain not in their flow at the moment. Everything working for Germany. Pasiwan, front iron on the shot, ultimately secured by Pratt.
As I was watching that German offense come down, it's just all transition for Germany, in as much as Haluski's been trailed into good positions, as Jammer fires again, and Jammer scores again.
Abdi Jammer moves to 6 points in the game. All of them have been long-range 2-pointers, including one that beat the first quarter game clock to give Great Britain that first quarter lead of 18 points to 15 at the end of the first. They're currently trailing by 2. And Haluski continuing to feast at mid and short range. He is proving to be unstoppable right now.
He's coming down late as a trailer, often following Lohman, the low point player, and he's been like a blocker getting into those positions. Tough shot for Bywater up on the tilt, but he makes no mistake off the glass.
Bywater goes on to 2 wheels. 9 points in the game now for Terry Bywater. Keeps Great Britain within touching distance. It's a 1-possession game as there's lots of collisions in the paint away from the basketball. Philip Pratt securing the errant shot attempt by Thomas Burma. Streaking down the court was Sagar, but Great Britain now into a half-court set. As a fast break opportunity is gone. Bywater, no matter. Secondary break, you can call that. Terry Bywater nails 2 consecutive shots to tie things up at 28 points apiece. Germany have called timeout, trying to stem this run of momentum being built up by Great Britain. We have 5.5 minutes left to play in the first half, and we are all square in this first semi-final here at the European Wheelchair Basketball Championships. Germany 28, Great Britain 28.
We see the coach there talking to Dirk Pasiwan, his star man off the bench. But from a GB perspective, I feel with the unit they've been playing, Sagar, Pratt and Bywater, if they just stay patient with the offense, they can get the shot they like. Put Bywater behind Sagar, let them create problems for the Germans, which will force them to held down low, and then we have the likes of Jammer from the outside and Phil Pratt cutting to the basket and Harry Brown cutting to the basket, who can take advantage on the weak side. And if ever there's a mismatch in size with Sagar or Bywater, they can take advantage. So it's just about matter of staying patient and not just taking the first half-decent opportunity that comes along.
So Terry Bywater, he sold Great Britain in double figures with 11 points. Haluski's leading all scorers with 15. Ably aided and abetted by Thomas Burma, who has 11. As Germany inbound and have it with Pasiwan, all square, 28 points apiece. Offensive foul is the call. Terrific defensive positioning secured by Abdi Jammer.
Yeah, no, you don't usually see the veteran Pasiwan get caught like that. He has unbelievable skills in his chair, but Jammer got there just in time. It could have gone either way, that one, actually. But in this occasion, it goes in favour of GB.
So Great Britain looking to break the deadlock as Chowdhury back into the game, fires from deep in 2-point territory and finds the bottom of the net. Great Britain lead by 2. Germany 28, Great Britain 30. 5 minutes to go in this first half.
Mark Fosbuck, the number 13, into the game, and again Haluski gets a good look. GB lucky to get away with that, and Chowdhury hauls in the boards.
So Great Britain have it on the fast break. With Bywater, he's pursued by Lerman. Now it's with Chowdhury all alone, finds the extra pass for Jammer. He gives it back to Chowdhury. Good ball movement around the perimeter. The German defense being extended. And then Bywater working the wheels, drawing the foul on Bjorn Lohmann.
First foul for Lohmann, and that was better with the patience. Now that Gaz Chowdhury is onto the floor, one of those three, Bywater, Segar or Chowdhury, should have a mismatch here as GB have three tall players. Germany only one genuine tall player in Haluski, and then Pasiwan sits medium height, but that's careless from Telly Bywater. Turnover. GB just can't afford these turnovers.
Bywater holding his hand up immediately, acknowledging that it was his bad that caused the turnover, but streaking into a wide open Great Britain lane is Thomas Burma. He finds Pasiwan. Then a wide open Jan Haluski. My goodness, he is putting on a shooting exhibition so far. 17 points in the game for the German number 12.
Yeah, currently shooting at 64% from the field, Ronald. He is a quality shooter, isn't he?
So Bywater goes to the spin, shakes off the attentions of his defender, dumps it down to Segar. That mid-range J can't go on the baseline from the baseline for him. So Pasiwan weaves his way, initiates the contact, and that's a high-speed collision. The gap was closing between Gaz Chowdhury and Abdi Jammer, and look at the courage with which he saw that lane, went to go through it, but Jammer just clipped his wheels. Foul is the result. And Germany inbound from the end line, 18 seconds on the shot clock. Haluski all alone again, back iron on that shot. Jammer pulls in the board and then gets away from Matthias Heimbeck.
When Dirk Pasiwan comes onto the floor, then the tempo always lifts, and transition baskets are the result. GB must get back in defense quickly.
So Bywater guarded by Pasiwan. Beautiful dribble move by Bywater. Gets into the lane, finds himself a good look, can't convert the shot. Almost taken away by Gaz Chowdhury.
Yeah, but I think Ian Segar was cutting down low there. If Telly had been just a half a second more patient, he could have found in under the basket, and then surely that would have resulted in the two. Telly will think that he should have scored anyway, and on most occasions he would have done. But a bit more patience probably would have ended in the basket as Thomas Burma, the number 14, fires, but can't hit.
So Bywater with the rebound. We are tied at 30 points apiece with 3 minutes to go in this first half of this first semi-final. Chowdhury picks up his dribble, doesn't get the shooter's roll, dancing tantalizingly on the rim. Pasiwan comes away with it for Germany.
Mismatch there for Chowdhury again, just can't get the roll this time, but it was a good look at the basket for someone of his quality. Pasiwan fires now, can't haul in the boards. Mark Fosbrook.
Difficult for Mark Fosbrook to secure that 1-point classification player. He had deformities on his hands, so going to be very difficult. And you see the manner in which he pushes and controls the chair. It varies from the majority of players who have functioning fingers and thumbs. So we have a timeout on the floor. But Fosbrook just that rebound invading his grasp.
Yep, we were talking about it in the game last night against Italy. What he brings, he's a double amputee below the knee, so he has the core stability almost of a 4.5 player, but because of those hand impairments that you mentioned, that is why he has been classified as a 1, and we saw a perfect illustration of it there when he tried to haul those boards and had all the hustle, all the ability to lean, but just couldn't control the ball.
So Germany leading by 2. It's a 1-possession game with 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half. The Great Britain coaching staff just issuing the instructions in what is a really close encounter.
Yeah, then from a GB perspective, I just don't feel we're quite firing on all cylinders yet. I think there's more to come, certainly offensively. And defensively, it's all about first stopping the transition and then getting the matchups right, because at the moment, that man, Bjorn Lohmann, the number 4, he's getting his mate Haluski into good positions time and time again. So they've got to stop Lohmann and then get the matchup so a big can challenge Haluski and try and keep that shooting percentage of his lower.
So it will be Great Britain ball from the end line. 2.5 minutes remain in the first half. And Germany are leading Great Britain by 2. It's a rematch of the gold medal game from the European Championships in 2011. And Great Britain won the first of their 2 successive back-to-back European Championship titles. Abdi Jama short on that shot. Passiwan secures possession for Germany. So he's met by Segal, streaking down the lane, but hassled every push it away by Mark Fosbrook, who is called for the foul. It was Thomas Burma who ended up being appended out of his chair.
Yeah, here we see it. Not actually a smart foul. Actually, Fozzie again, he just couldn't stop his chair. He was trying his best not to make the contact. Bailed Bowman out there because he had his back to the basket with no real opportunity to make the assist. Was that ruled as that was ruled as a shooting foul there, Ronald? I mean, surely he was just making a pass there. Can't understand why Burma, the number 14, is on the line.
So to the free throw line for 2 shots. Thomas Burma. Fosbrook, a terrific all-round athlete, been playing wheelchair basketball since 12, but then went away, had success standing volleyball in Atlanta 96. Now there's the shot, there's a smart play. I think they've called that a shot attempt, as you heard the first beginnings of a shrill from the whistle, and tossed the ball toward the basket, as all smart players do. Segar on the perimeter, on the interior, and nailed the shot off the window.
Yeah, well done Ian Segal, because when he catches that ball, he knows that there's a big hand coming from behind from Haluski, but he kept his composure, and again the number 12 creates that double team there, which allows Marcus Heimbach to sneak in. The boards.
That is a terrific offensive rebound. Now the shot will not count, but my goodness, Alexander Haluski secured that second offensive board for Germany in amongst the crowd, extended an arm. Here's the shot. It goes up, Burma with the board, he gets the second bite at the cherry. Look at that for a board. The tilt, the core strength from the 4.5 player, but the shot will not count. It's 2 shots on the line for Alexander Haluski.
But the damage was done there, allowing Haluski into position in the first place. First of all, he drew the double team, which left Heimbach open, and then because the shot goes up, even though it wasn't successful, he's not going to be counted for 3 seconds there, because it did hit the iron, which allows him to camp there, and eventually those big mitts will pull it in.
So perfect on that trip to the free throw line. Germany extend their lead to 4. Germany 36, Great Britain 32, with 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining in this second period. Bywater, wonderful positioning in the lane, banks it off the glass from directly in front of the hoop. That's a tough shot to make, and he did it with aplomb.
Yeah, 13 for Terry. He keeps his offensive production high. Let's see now if GB can make a defensive stop, because they've got to start stopping the Germans at some stage.
So it remains a 1-possession game. From the far side, drain from Dirk Pastiwan. He moves to 6 points in the game now. Germany leading by 4. Inside the final minute. Abdi Jama has it. Skip pass, finds Bywater. He works his way to the elbow and drains the shot from the corner of the free throw line and lane. Terrific shot by Bywater.
Yeah, well done, Terry Bywater, because actually the spacing wasn't good on that offense. There wasn't a lot going for it, but when you've got a man who can hit from anywhere on the floor, it doesn't matter. Passiwan again, and he's fouled. He will be at the line for the bonus.
He was bumped past Iwan. The sound of it was audible from our commentary position here. But his concentration remained absolute, and he drained the shot and will now have the opportunity to add 1 more. Harry Brown into the game as Gaz Chowdhury takes a seat on the bench. The shot clock has been turned off. 17 seconds remain in this first half. Dirk Passiwan completes the 3-point play to give Germany a 5-point advantage over Great Britain on what will probably be the last possession of this first half. To Bywater now. He's guarded by Haluski, who went bulldozing into the GB number 7. Now, Germany still have fouls to give, so all that's doing is eating up time off the game clock. Smart clock management by Germany. So skip pass finds Jama. That's a terrific catch by the 1-pointer. Oh my goodness, what a basketball play by Abdi Jama. The one-point classification player had to reach back and at the very end of his fingertips haul in that ball, then retain his composure and core strength before firing a shot to beat the quarter clock once again. He did it in the first period, he's done it in the second period, and that has reduced Germany's advantage to just 3. At the end of 2 quarters of play, Germany lead Great Britain by a score of 41 points to 38.
Half-time break now, with that 3-point advantage to Germany. We have, ladies and gentlemen, a very special award to take place in the centre of the court. It's the Jean Ratcliffe Award, which goes to a young person who makes an outstanding contribution to wheelchair basketball. Now, to make the presentation are Malcolm Tarkington, the chairman of British Wheelchair Basketball, and Russell Sims of RGK Wheelchair. Now, the recipient of the Jean Ratcliffe Award for 2015 is Jack Davey. Now, Jack receives this award in recognition of his tireless work with Exeter Otters. He's one of the youngest coaches in the country. He's also a leading light in the South West of England Regional Association. Jack, in fact, set up one of our school satellite clubs. He also coaches Exeter Pups and coached his regional team at this year's Lord's Taverners National Junior Championships. The Jean Ratcliffe Award winner for 2015, Jack Davey. And many congratulations to young Jack. So 3 points separate the two sides at the halfway stage. In fact, 3 points separated the sides at the end of the first quarter. On that occasion, it was GB who had the 3-point advantage. Alexander Hanuski leads the scoring for Germany with 19 points, and Thomas Bome with 13, and for GB it's Terry Bywater with 15 points. Also, I'd like to take this opportunity to pay particular thanks to our partners who helped provide this tournament for us. That's IWBF Europe, the University of Worcester, Sport England, UK Sport, and World Class Worcestershire. But of course, we couldn't have done it without some vital sponsors, and our 4 sponsors for whom we give grateful thanks are Alton, Eon, Towergate, Wellspect, WT Johnson's, Elite Coaching, RGK, and Sportserve. Grateful eternal thanks to all of our sponsors.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, who wants one of our prizes? Just put your hands up if you want a prize. It's stressful. Who's got a lot of stress? The top. In a lovely shirt. I don't know about reach. I'll have a go. Don't play cricket. Here we go. Oh my lord. Third time. Hey! Anybody else? I want to hear noise in the club. More noise. Help him out, the whole side. The whole side, or something more over there. After 3. 1, 2. Fan Club. What brings you here to Worcester for the wheelchair basketball?
I work with RGK.
Work with RGK. Work with RGK wheelchairs, everybody. Madam, do you play wheelchair basketball? No. Over here. Do you play wheelchair basketball? Who do you play for? No. Any dancers around? All stressful. Right, to win this one, you two. It's up between you two. It's up first, right? Stand up. Stand up, madam. Madam, just stand up. Right, ready, get ready to dance. She's winning. Oh! Keep going, girls. Now spin around. Oh! Two step. You can do that in the step, I can see it. You win. The table officials at the back. Hi, Shona. Hi, Jane. How do you think the tournament's going so far? Pretty good. You having a good game so far? Good games? One of our valued table officials, Shona Harlin in the house. No fans there, Shona.
Hello and welcome once again to the University of Worcester, where you join us just before the second half of this first men's semi-final here at the European Wheelchair Basketball Championships, and it is a game that is intriguingly poised. Germany leading by just 3. Germany 41, Great Britain 38, and it has been a nip and tuck encounter throughout. But that man, Alexander Haluski, has been a major thorn in Great Britain's side, Dan Johnson.
Yeah, first we saw that one from the outside, then Haluski getting into good position, and then that man, Thomas Burma, absolute class. The and one he got there. Just must do a better job keeping this big number 12 off the boards. Because if we allow him on those transition opportunities to get into the paint, even if he misses his first attempt, he often will get his own rebound.
8 rebounds he's pulled down to go along with his 19 points, 2 offensive boards, 6 defensive boards, 19 points in the game to lead all scorers. He has proved to be a real handful. The second leading rebounder in the tournament coming in to this game, and the manner in which he's operated around the perimeter, well, you can see why.
Yep, equally as effective shooting inside and out. You mentioned earlier that he was from the running game in Belarus. Injured his knee, was picked up by one of the German coaches who saw him playing for Belarus. The CGB coach, Haj Bahani, he has to find a way for GB to kick up their defensive intensity and stop the Germans.
Well, Terry Bywater has been the leading light from Great Britain, for Great Britain, up from an offensive point of view. 15 points in the game, Terry Bywater, including a 3-pointer to open his account. Yeah,
the opener there, and then when he gets a size mismatch over Haller, as we see there, he's always going to take advantage, and here comes Jammer with one of his trademarks. That's a tough shot, wasn't it? Right, with a defender right in his face, but still able to get it. A little bit more wide open here, but again, a good job we saw by Adi Oligbemi there, making the block so that Haluski couldn't get out. And that was just the finish, wasn't it? That was a 3-pointer right at the end of the second quarter. Great catch, great finish.
8 points in the game for Abdi Jammer. 2 of them have beaten the respective quarter clocks to end the first and third period. That final replay you just saw there during the highlights, where he leaned back to the full extent of his reach, the 1-point classification player. That was to beat the half-time buzzer that was about to sound, and that made it a 1-possession game. 8 points in the game for him. Abdi Jammer backing up Terry Bywater. Gaz Chowdhury has 9. So this offense has been spread as we begin this second half. So Great Britain in possession to begin quarter number 3. Bywater has it, finds Harry Brown, and drains the baseline shot. Does Terry Bywater. Brown gave it straight back.
Yeah, Harry Brown driving the key, but he was driving the key to make the assist rather than the finish, and that's an easy look for Bywater. Well done, Harry Brown.
17 points in the game now for Bywater. He begins the Great Britain scoring just as he did at the start of the match. Haluski unable to score. Pratt with the board. Ian Sagar pushing hard up this near side, but he's shadowed by Binek. So Terry Bywater now working away on Burma, gets to the baseline position, skip pass, finds Pratt. He's all open because Ian Sagar's had a brilliant screen, and Philip Pratt takes full advantage of the wide open look that his teammates just created.
Yep, 2 from 2, the number 11 shot that with confidence there. It was never going anywhere else than the bottom of the net. Good start for this second half for GB.
21 years old, Philip Pratt from the Cardiff Celts, his hometown club in Wales. Terrific shot from the perimeter. Andre Binek, the 28-year-old, draining that shot from the wing to keep Germany in front just by 1. We have a whistle away from the basketball.
Yeah, Binek called for his first foul there. We saw his offensive skills the last time down, 12.5 averaging a game at 65%, so useful player, Andre Binek.
Bywater, guarded by Burma, skip pass, finds Jammer. This is his sort of range. There was a long arm and it was a beautiful shot fake. Sagar with the catch, struggling to retain control, got the shot away. Haluski pulled down the rebound of the errant shot.
Yeah, GB, there's Sagar and Bywater being defended by 3 Germans there, and it's how we convert on the weak side there that's going to be important. Good look inside from Jammer, but it ended up with Sagar being swamped. Tough shot.
So Binek has it. The shot clock is down to 5 for Germany. He offloads to Burma. Burma doesn't know what to do. He's guarded by Jammer, and a terrific defensive sequence by Great Britain forces a 24-second shot clock violation.
No transition in the first place, so GB are able to get back and set up their matchups, and as a result, a much better defensive stand.
So orchestrating things for Great Britain is Philip Pratt at the point. He finds Bywater, who shoots over the comparatively diminutive Jan Haller. Bywater can't get it to 4. Haluski secures possession for Germany, and Germany looking to ignite their fast break. Haluski's being kept out of proceedings by Harry Brown. So as things stand, Germany were a man down. It was 4-on-4 basketball, but now Haluski's into the proceedings, but Binek keeps it himself. Rim shot will be beyond the reach of Bjorn Lohmann. Good defensive stance once again from Great Britain.
Yeah, Harry Brown making Haluski make it difficult for them to get up court, and that forced the Germans to send 4 back to pick for them, and that takes time off the shot clock. So good defensive tactics by GB.
Hard fought encounter, this one. Jammer with the reception on the far side. Pushes into the lane. He's hassled and harried by Jan Haller. Bywater with a big collision against Binek. Shot clock's down to 5. Bywater recognises, pulls the trigger. Berman with the board off the shot that couldn't be converted.
Foul called there by Phil Pratt, and I think that was a good foul, as Germany had good transition again. But in the last offence for GB, I think Abdi Jammer was wide open at the free throw line there, and Terry Bywater, maybe conscious of the shot clock counting down, wasn't able to find him.
So Burma has it, unaccosted at the moment. Bywater showing a mild defensive presence. Haluski with the long range 2 into the lap of Bywater, who ignites the Great Britain transition game. So Philip Pratt weaves his way into the lane, avoids the contact. Haluski closed the avenue towards the basket. Now it's with Jammer. He's met by Burma. Back to Pratt. Turns and faces up. Jammer goes to the left-hand dribble. Beautiful bounce pass, finds Harry Brown. Wonderful pick-and-roll basketball. Harry Brown, the beneficiary.
Yeah, the 2 low point plays. What an assist there by Abdi Jammer, getting the bounce pass. That was the only place he could get that pass without it being picked off. Superb offensive skills by Jammer. He's showing that he can create as well as score.
Harry Brown with his first points of the game. It gives Great Britain a 1-point advantage. Just under 6 minutes to play. Wraparound shot attempted by Haller. That's a tough look at the hoop for the 2-point classification player. Philip Pratt orchestrating things for Great Britain. He's met by Haluski. Turns, faces up, lots of time, and releases. Front iron, rebound, Haluski.
Good look for Phil, but couldn't get it to go that time.
Segar's out of his chair. Great Britain have a deficit in numbers here. Germany with a 5-on-4. There was a whistle away from the ball.
Harry Brown, I think it was, Ronald, charged with a foul here. A good foul because, again, as you mentioned, Segar out of his chair would have been a 5-on-4 at the very least. So Brown takes the foul and slows things down.
So Harry Brown called for his first foul of the game. Haluski from the perimeter, a flicking hand of Harry Brown was in his line of vision. Segar with the board. Terry Bywater's way up ahead and has a huge size mismatch, recognized, but just beyond the outstretched reach. Terry Bywater bites on his jersey because he knows how tantalizingly close that was. Look at the recognition from Philip Pratt. He launches the pass, and Bywater just couldn't extend enough beyond his reach. Turnover's the result. When
Phil Pratt first looked up, Bywater was just on had just Lohmann there, and so it was a good option, but Germany quickly got defenders back, that man Passiban being the main one, and perhaps Phil Pratt would have been better on that occasion just to have held the ball. And there's a foul being called there. I think it's on Bywater, is it?
No, I think it's on Dirk Pastiwan. Bywater was working to get free, so Germany have turned the ball right back over.
Not a smart foul there from the 38-year-old Dirk Passiwan.
So Pastiwan called for his second as Great Britain inbound from the end line. And all that frenetic activity away from the hoop, it remains a 1-point game. Jammer can't convert. Big rebound secured by Heimbach. Germany in transition. And just listen to the collisions taking place out there on the hardwood. Pastiwan trying to work free, but my goodness, it's a demolition derby out on the basketball court. Chairs clattering together. Everybody fighting for position in this crucial passage of play.
Yeah, there we see Bywater pick up his first foul. But at the offensive end for GB, the Germans are just playing 3 defenders against Sagar and Bywater, and then 2 defenders against the other 3 GB players. So it's just how we get the spacing right there and which options we choose that's going to be important.
So Passiwan, guarded by Jammer and Pratt. He keeps the ball in his own hands, back iron on the shot, rebound straight into the hands of Matthias Heimbeck. Passiwan, hassled by Jammer, skip pass, finds Haluski. Now it's back to Burma, shot clock at 5. Nothing on the shot other than glass. So Great Britain in transition, Sagar pushing hard. He's sandwiched between 2 Germans, and that opened up the lane. Philip Pratt with a recognition. 6 points in the game for the man from Cardiff.
Yeah, he doesn't look to be going that fast, but when you see him go past defenders like that, you realise he is absolutely lightning. Such a classy player.
Great Britain leading by 3. Germany 43, Great Britain 46. Just under 4 minutes to go. Bullet pass attempted, trying to find Sagar. Anticipated all too easily by the Germans. Turnover is the result.
Yeah, guilty of trying to go through with a quick pass there instead of over the top. Here we see Phil Platt just glides down the court. 3-on-2 opportunity. They left Phil Platt alone. Lovely finger roll off the glass.
So just over 3.5 minutes to play in this third period. A place in the gold medal game is the prize that awaits the victor. That long shot is secured by Philip Pratt. He's conducting matters for Great Britain right now. Contact away from the basketball once again.
Yeah, Sagar had good position, and Haluski forced to foul him. That's his second foul, and I can see substitutions lining up to come in for GB. Gaz Chowdhury and Mark Fosbrook coming back in, and for the first time, the big number 14, Lee Manning.
So wholesale changes for Great Britain. Philip Pratt did a terrific job controlling things and directing matters for Great Britain out there on the hardwood. They lead by 3 with just under 3.5 minutes to play as Chowdhury inbound, 3.5 minutes playing his third quarter as Chowdhury inbounds from the end line. He's guarded by Lerman, works his way free baseline, skips it back to Jammer, just above the free throw line, short on the shot, big rebound pulled in by the long arm and ultimately secured. Terrific play by Lee Manning, reputed to have a 7'1" wingspan, the 4.5 classification player, and every inch of it was used there. Oh, what a finish in heavy traffic.
Yeah, we see it so often from that man, Passiwan. Transition basketball, pushes the floor and gets the easy 2 as a result. But we've been talking all game about Haluski, his size and the way he pulls in the boards, but all of a sudden he's been out-rebounded. That man Manning shows what a valuable asset he can be.
25 years of age, Lee Manning. Dirk Passiwan completes the 3-point play to make it a 1-possession game. Germany showing press. Chowdhury is over in Germany's half. Manning with that low chair, despite his immense size, gets the ball over half for Great Britain. Launch pass attempted. What a reception on the interior by Sagar, knocked away by Dirk Kohler. Dirk Kohler, the 4-point classification player, going up against Ian Sagar, 3-point classification player, and the German veteran, 47 years of age now, extended a long arm of defensive presence and knocked that ball away.
Only 11 minutes in the tournament average for Kohler, so he hasn't had many minutes, but when he comes on, he always makes an impact as Gaz Chowdhury fires off the glass.
The shot clock was ticking down to 4. Chowdhury recognised that, kept it in his own hands, and extends Great Britain's lead to 4. 2.5 minutes to play in this third period. Great Britain 46, it goes inside to Kohler. What an impact he is having.
Yeah, easy look though for the big number 15, and GB have got to do a better job taking away this transition basketball of Germany. Big responsibility for this 5 on the floor now as Gaz Chowdhury has an opportunity, but he is fouled by the number 6, Matthias Heimbeck.
Looks to be in a bit of discomfort, Gaz Chowdhury. It was a heavy fall.
Yeah, here we see Gaz Chowdhury kind of get down low and taken from behind by Heimbeck, the number 6. Easy call for the official. Let's hope that Gaz hasn't injured himself, went down heavily there.
That left wrist and forearm that took the brunt of the impact as he was upended out of his chair.
If this unit on the floor can keep extending the lead, they're just up by 2 now, they'll have done a good job. It was the Bywater and Pratt combination that was doing the damage early in the third, and they obviously been substituted, so it's important that GB don't start stuttering. Abdi Jama battling in the board by Fosbrook, and it will be GB ball.
Terrific hustle by Mark Fosbrook. Remember, just a 1-point classification player. Mentioned his all-round athletic ability. He was a Paralympian in Atlanta '96 in standing volleyball at the Paralympic Games. Jama celebrates as he moves to double figures in the game. 10 points now for Abdi Jama, all of them on long-range 2s.
You can see he was just a bit of extra celebration there because he'd missed his 2 previous shots, which Jama won't be happy about because he has such unbelievably high standards, but hopefully he's back in the groove now.
Great Britain leading Germany by 4. Oh my goodness, what a remarkable stroke from Thomas Burma under heavy pressure, and still able to find the bottom of the net. Germany's leading scorer, showing why he's the statistical leader in that particular category. Lee Manning got himself a clean look, then fights it forward to keep it alive, but the shot will not count. But good hustle by him to take it back from the German defender after he missed his first shot attempt.
And I think it was that Manning and Sagard actually that just sliced down the lane, and when Manning missed his first shot, just got a paw on the ball which deflected it to, so let's see, that was a first attempt. Sagard just knocked it out of Pasiwan's hands, but Manning can't get the second opportunity to go, but he's at the line.
So good on the first. Lee Manning perfect on that trip to the free throw line. 4 points in the game now as he takes a seat on the bench.
Yeah, excellent job by those guys. They came in and the offensive pressure didn't slacken, and they played excellent defense, and they've allowed Terry Bywater to have a few minutes breather, and that could be important in that fourth quarter.
There's a minute to go in this third period. Great Britain leading Germany by 4. Germany 50, Great Britain 54. In this third period as Pasiwan drifts into the lane. Unable to convert on the inside was Lerman. So Bywater has it. Works his way towards the center. Oh my goodness, Terry Bywater refreshed and revitalized after his breather on the bench. Comes back in and drains a 3-pointer to give Great Britain a 7-point lead with less than 30 seconds to play in this third period.
20 points for Terry as Pasiwan fires from the top, but he can't get it to go.
So the shot clock has been turned off. Streaking ahead up front is Harry Brown. Oh, what a find! Terrific effort by Adio Abemi, couldn't control the speed. The find was from Simon Brown. And Germany will have the last shot. Pasiwan launches from mid-court. And at the conclusion of the third quarter of play, Germany are trailing Great Britain by 7 points. Germany 50, Great Britain 57, with 10 minutes of wheelchair basketball to come in this semi-final.
There we see that Simon Brown. Look at the pass there to Adi Oligbemi. Adi will be so disappointed because if that last basket could have gone down, it would have been buzzer beaters in all 3 quarters so far, and that takes momentum into the start of the next quarter. So disappointing for Adi, but what I'm impressed about in that quarter is the defensive stands we've started to take, getting the matchups right, and Germany just have not had quite as many good looks, have they? The only easy things they've had have come off Dirk Pasiwan pushing the floor, so much better job talking and getting those switches and staying matched up.
Haj Bahania made some wholesale changes during the course of that third period. His starters were able to give him a breather, and the unit that came in with terrific energy and efficiency maintained and indeed increased the lead from halftime. At halftime, remember, it was Germany leading by 41 points to 38. Great Britain enjoying a 19-9 quarter, outscoring Germany by 10 to produce that turnaround, and that is how they lead by 7.
Yeah, I mentioned the defence, Ronald. 26 points Germany scored in the second quarter and only 9 in the third. That highlights the fact that GB defence has started to make an impact now, and if they can hold Germany to a low-scoring quarter again, they're going a long way to securing a place in the final.
So Great Britain, remember, 2 times in the last 2 championships they finished atop the podium. Came away with a bronze in 2009, but it was 2 silver medals in the tournaments before that.
Foul called on Bywater there. Zaluski gets good position. That's his second. Must not allow the big number 12 here. We see it being a curl play there by the number 6. Heimbach allows Haluski to get down low. Fortunate that he didn't make the first to make his shot, but he will be at the line for 2.
So Alexander Haluski makes both free throws to move to 21 points in the game now. He leads all scorers, just ahead of Terry Bywater, who has 20 at the end of 3 quarters of play. Streaking ahead is Burma. Bywater can't catch up to him. And Burma duly makes the shot. Germany have made a terrific start to this 4th and final period, and they are feeling it as the momentum swings away of the team in white.
And that shows the danger of taking early shots. Bywater takes the early shot, Gaz Chowdhury takes an early shot, and that allows Germany to go away on the fast break opportunity. 2-on-1 here for Pasiwan.
Germany have the advantage in numbers, no mistake. Alexander Haluski, Germany right back in this game. They have reduced the deficit to 1. Great Britain have called timeout, and what was a 7-point advantage at the conclusion of the 3rd period, in less than a minute of play, has been reduced to just a 1-point advantage for Great Britain. Germany starting with a 6-0 run to begin this 4th and final quarter.
Yeah, GB must be careful about taking early shots. If you don't stay patient with the offense and take the first shot that presents itself, it means that the defense for Germany is not rotating, so as soon as they secure the boards, bang, they can be away on the break, and we've seen that on 2 occasions now, first from Bywater's early shot and then from Gaz Chowdhury. So GB must stay patient, must look to rotate the ball, must make the defense work.
So has this call of a timeout by Great Britain coach Haj Bahania stemmed the run of momentum that Germany had just established to begin the 4th and final period? They came out blazing, hit Great Britain hard, 6-0 run to begin the 4th and final period, and the cushion of advantage that Great Britain worked so hard to achieve has been practically eradicated. Great Britain's lead now just 1, with 9 minutes to play in the 4th and final quarter. So Jammer has it, offloads to Bywater, who's guarded by Lerman. Skip pass finds Jammer again. He fires from his range. 12 points in the game for Abdi Jammer. Great Britain's 2nd leading scorer throughout the course of this tournament. Big collision away from the basketball as Jammer ran into Lerman. 4-on-4 down at the offensive end. Pasiwan making use of the extra space. Keeps Germany within touching distance.
14 for Pasiwan, and the majority of those have been in transition quick, getting the ball up the floor quickly, taking advantage of the defense before it's set. Jammer open again, but this time elects not to shoot. That gives Chowdhury the opportunity.
Chowdhury back iron, rebound hauled in by Haluski. He does such a terrific job in that department, and as we've seen during the course of this game, he's a pretty good shooter as well. Big collision as Pasiwan made the reception. Simon Brown bulldozing in to the German number 11.
GB must commit to get back into defence as quickly as possible. In that 3rd quarter, when they held the Germans to 9 points, it was all because they got Germany into the half-court game. They were able to set up their matchups, but as soon as the Germans get into transition, it's a different matter.
Terrific shot from the wing, and Germany take the lead. They've got 10 points in this quarter already. Remember, they were held to just 9 by Great Britain's stifling defense during the course of quarter number 3. So Germany lead by 1. Shot clock is down to 10. Jammer from his area at the free throw line and drains it once again. 14 points in the game for Abdi Jammer. Terrific offensive contribution, indeed all-round contribution from the 1-pointer for Great Britain.
But lovely assist there by Gaz Troudy. That ball rotation is always going to cause Germany issues, but Thomas Burma never going to miss from there. 19 for him now.
So substitutions checking into the game for Great Britain. Simon Brown, Adeola Gbemi taking a seat on the bench along with Gaz Chowdhury checking in. Ian Segal, Philip Pratt and Harry Brown.
Coach behind you, they'll be hoping that Harry Brown and number 9 and Phil Pratt can use their unbelievable speed just to get back in defence and get some stops.
So Abdi Jammer finds Pratt. He's left alone, drifts further into the baseline, tries to find Bywater. That's a good reception. Skip pass, finds Jammer from his area, late on the rotation was Burma, and he is made to pay. Wonderful ball movement by Great Britain. Abdi Jammer on fire. 14 points in the game now for him.
Yeah, good ball rotation. Jammer left open on the weak side, and he's going to make them pay more often than not. Unbelievable tournament from the outside for Abdi Jammer.
Bounce pass finds us streaking and indeed finishing. Matthias Heimbach, what a find, what a reception. And the finish gives Germany a 1-point advantage once again in this nip and tuck to-and-fro game.
Yeah, GB having to knock down some tough shots from the outside, with Germany on the other hand having nice easy layups. Jammer again from his sort of distance.
Abdi Jammer continued to have the hot hand and Great Britain continuing to feed it. Terrific display by Abdi Jammer. He gives Great Britain a 1-point advantage. Germany 64, Great Britain 65, with just under 6 minutes to play in this semi-final. Right back at you, says Thomas Burma. He moves to 21 points in the game now, right around his tournament average, and we still have 5.5 minutes and change remaining in this game.
And how quick was the release from Burma there? It hardly hit his hands before it was up and in. Bywater fires.
Big rebound attempted by Harry Brown. His last touch by the big mitts of Alexander Haluski. Great Britain will inbound from the end line. 14 seconds remain on the shot clock. Jammer from the wing. Oh, wow. My goodness. He is in a zone, and the basket must appear as big as a bucket right now. Philip Pratt anticipated that, but just couldn't control. Abdi Jammer is having a sensational game. 18 points in the game now for Jammer, as we see the anticipation from Philip Pratt and the hustle to try and control it, just couldn't do so.
I thought when I saw Abdi Jammer's 29-point performance in the group stages against Poland that I'd seen the best shooting display ever by a 1-pointer from range, but now he's putting on another one, isn't he, Ronald? It's going to be a tough call, which is the best game. If Abdi Jammer can steer GB home here, then obviously the higher the stakes in the semi-finals, the more impressive he becomes.
Still lots of basketball to come. 5.5 minutes practically to play in this fourth and final period, and it is just a 1-point game. Abdi Jammer, rated as one of the top 1-point players in the world, and my goodness, is he demonstrating it here. Plays beyond his abilities, physical ability of that 1-point classification. So valuable in that respect is Abdi Jammer.
Absolutely. Defensively for GB, they must try, and I keep banging on about it, that they must try and take away the transition offense that Germany always seem to find when that man number 11, Dirk Pasiwan, is on the floor. Once we can get them into a half-court game and get our matches established, GB are doing a much better job.
So Burma has it. If Germany get into their half-court set with Pasiwan, he's guarded by Jammer. Working to get close to the basket now is Haluski. It remains in the hands of Pasiwan, who's been shadowed every push of the way by Jammer. Shot clock is down to 6. Haluski guarded by Harry Brown, front rim on the shot, one and done for Germany. Bywater with the board.
There we see it. Obviously, they couldn't get transition off the inbound play, so GB get their defense set, and that was an excellent sequence, forcing Haluski into that tough shot.
So Bywater, ball remains in his hands. Skip pass, finds Jammer. He drifts towards the lane. Oh, beautiful pick and roll. Harry Brown can't secure it, the hoop. Haluski secures the board.
Yeah, Harry Brown will be disappointed he couldn't get that one to go. Nice offense, but Teddy Bywater was open on the weak side, and you do just wonder whether the best option was picked there.
So it remains a one-point game as Germany have possession in the half court. So the foul called.
Teddy Bywater called there, look, all over Pasiwan. He's called for the foul, and that will be his third.
So 14 seconds on the clock as Germany look to inbound from the sideline. Just a one-point game. Haluski finds Pasiwan. Harry Brown working hard away from the basketball to get position. This is a tough fadeaway attempted, and unsurprisingly, it's an air ball. Haluski suggesting that he was fouled. There's too much contact, drawing nothing on that shot attempt.
Yeah, good defense by Sagar. Forced Haluski to go backward to try and create the space, but as you mentioned, that is a tough look.
So clock now starts as Philip Pratt picks up the ball. Abdi Jammer gives it back to Pratt. Streaking towards the hoop, and this time converting it with a tough left-handed layup. Harry Brown gives Great Britain a three-point lead.
Yeah, there he goes. Harry Brown missed one with his strong hand, but showing he's got skills with his left. Fantastic finish.
Abdi Jammer working furiously to keep Dirk Pasiwan out of the lane. He picks it up, offloads to Haluski, settles himself, gets his own rebound, pokes it away. Ian Sagar, last touch by Great Britain. And it will be Germany to inbound from the end line, 14 seconds on this shot clock.
But Haluski was surrounded by Sagar, Bywater and Pratt, then still able to get his own boards. Finally it was pushed away, Germany ball.
So Pasiwan guarded by Harry Brown. Haluski comes across to set a screen, and now will look to roll to the basket. Philip Pratt blanketing Pasiwan. He keeps it himself and fires. Rebound hauled in by Terry Bywater.
Again, good defense from GB, forcing Germany into a tough shot. Let's go back to Bywater and Sagar to launch this offense. Make the cover come. Phil Pratt left open. And I think the officials stopped the game there because Matthias Heimbach, I beg your pardon, out of his chair. So GB will get possession, 14 seconds on the shot clock.
So Pratt looking for outlets. Inbounds now. It's in the hands of Bywater. Abdi Jammer on this near side makes the reception, pulls the trigger. He is in the zone. Athletes talk about this magical, mystical place known as the zone. And however you find it, it's not always on tap, but Abdi Jammer is certainly in it during the course of this semi-final. He has been red hot as he moves to 22 points in the game. So Burma, guarded by Sagar, gets the shot away. It's too long. Rebound pulled in by Pratt. Great Britain not off to the races in terms of speed, but it's just a mild transition that's employed by Pratt, who's directing traffic out there. Freed up by the screen from Harry Brown. Skip pass finds Jammer on the opposite side. Aria tried to find a streaking Ian Sagar, but Dirk Pasiwan was wise to that and snatched the pass attempt out of the air. Germany have the advantage in numbers. Burma sets himself and gets the shot to fall.
That last offensive sequence for GB, when Jammer's shooting like he is, it's tempting to go to him as the first option, but I much prefer that if they go to Bywater and Sagar and then reverse the ball to Jammer when the defence rotates. He has more time and he can make people pay. Harry Brown down low, can he finish? Yes, he can!
Terrific reception and spin move on the inside. Philip Pratt put just the right amount of weight on that pass. Wonderful cheer skills by Harry Brown. Moves to 4 points in the game now. And Great Britain lead by 5. This is what is known as money time as Terry Bywater pockets the steal. Terrific play. And every possession crucial in these final 98 seconds. And we have a timeout on the floor. Nikolai Zeltinger, the German coach, calling time to discuss things, the closing strategies of this final minute and a half in this first semi-final. Germany trailing Great Britain by 5.
This next possession, Ronald, I feel is absolutely huge. If GB can get a basket from this offense, doesn't matter whether it's 2 or 3, it just starts to crank up the pressure on the Germans, and they could start taking rush shots. There we see Zeitlinger. He will be imploring his team and coming up with tactics to make sure that Germany make a stand here. But I think that if GB can just get some good ball movement, start with Bywater and Sagar, make the defence rotate, and then find the open man, that is their best chance in getting some points in this next offence. As I say, a huge sequence coming up now. Looking at the foul count now, Germany have only committed 1 foul in this quarter, which means that if they get into a situation where they need to start stopping the clock to get GB to the line, it's going to take some seconds to do that. So it'll be interesting to see if Heimbach encourages his players to take some early fouls just to get that foul count up, because they are trailing by 5.
So crucial passage of play now in these remaining 98 seconds. This is where experience counts for so much, and there a very quick foul indeed executed by Bjorn Lerman, and just as you suggested, Dan, Germany with fouls to give.
Yeah, they'll want to get his foul count up to 4, then they won't foul again, but they can foul if they need then as a tactic.
Burma in pursuit of Philip Pratt. Philip Pratt employing sheer skills to keep out of the way of trouble and keep the clock ticking. Oh my goodness, the pass attempted by Harry Brown to Ian Sagar, but Pasiwan again with a terrific alertness to pick that one off.
But that is like a missed layup, isn't it? There, that was a definite 2. Harry's just got to hold on to that a little bit longer and get it higher and over the top of Pasiwan. Excellent defence by the number 11.
So the shot clock is at 10. It's in the hands of Bywater for Great Britain. He's now working on Burma. Philip Pratt streaking and working his way into the lane. He's guarded on both sides and still gets the shot to fall. He is hyped, the young man from Cardiff, because he was surrounded by German defenders, but kept his composure to nail a crucial shot. Down on the other side, Germany right back into it. They blow the close range shot, and then he's knocked away. Philip Pratt is everywhere because he was the man who checked that shot, and he's asking for encouragement from the crowd and his teammates because he had just made 2 crucial plays at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, big basket for Phil Pratt, the biggest basket of his fledgling career. And then we see, look at the intensity, gets Pasiwan a touch on the ball from Pasiwan from behind, and GB have possession.
We're inside the final minute. Turnover to nobody in particular. He was trying to find a streaking Ian Sagar, but the pass wasn't executed. We talk about money time. This is where execution absolutely crucial. Fire required in the heart, coolness required in the head. Which one of these teams can exemplify those qualities? Burma for the long range 2, short on the shot, not touched by anybody. It sails out of bounds. Great Britain possession. 30 seconds remain. Great Britain have called timeout, and they lead Germany by 7. Germany 68, Great Britain 75, with 30 seconds remaining in this first semi-final here at Worcester University.
Yeah, here we see a finish inside from Harry Brown, and he's had an excellent impact in the game, but in that last play, just got a bit carried away with the turnover. But at the other end, Thomas Burma, we said what a fabulous tournament he'd had, 22 points, averaging at 55%, and then all of a sudden he has a big shot to take, the sort of shot that he's been knocking down all tournament, and when the tension gets white hot, it can do funny things to players, and the ones who can still do it in that sort of tension, the likes of Abdi Jama, the likes of Phil Pratt, they are the ones that can be world class.
This is what all players refer to as money time, because for those who are fortunate enough to play the game for a living, this is where you earn your money. Gut check time. With it all on the line, who can continue to execute as though there were no consequences. There are plenty of consequences at stake here. The victors go through to the gold medal game, and it's getting heated out there. Bywater in animated conversation with the officials.
Yeah, the ball's not going to go too far away from Terry Bywater here, because he is the best free throw shooter. Past it. There we go. Who they call that? Have they called a foul against Pratt or Bywater? Phil Pratt wanted Terry Bywater to have the ball, but actually that was just the fourth foul for Germany. I'm getting my facts wrong here, Ronald. So the next foul will be a shooting foul, and Germany will try and foul Bywater straight away, so that clock doesn't run down. Wrapped up by Binek. Pastiwan was in the vicinity as well, just to ensure that the referees know it's a foul. So Terry Bywater sent to the free throw line for 2 shots. Germany now over the limit. There are 27 seconds remaining. They trail by 7. And this absolutely crucial now. They are called free throws. Crucial that Bywater takes advantage. And he does so on the first. Every GB player, with the exception of Bywater, has to make sure they're ready to get back in defence here. But let's just hope Terry can do the business again from the line. He's done it so many times in the past. Perfect from the free throw line. Great Britain's advantage is now 9. Germany need a flurry of points in a hurry. They might be pulling the trigger from long range here. Goes back to Binek, he launches a speculative 3, back iron, and then they keep it alive with Burma. Binek gets another opportunity. Now, was that deflected? Segal was in the vicinity, changed the shot for sure, doesn't drop for Germany, and that is the basketball game. So Terry Bywater will allow the clock to expire, and Great Britain, for the 3rd successive European Championships, have booked their place in the gold medal game. Terrific display sees them prevail over the group winners Germany by a score of 77 points to 68. What a performance by Haj Bahania's men, because they were turned over in convincing fashion during the group stages to Germany. They recovered. They rode a 2-game win streak coming into this game, but Germany came in undefeated. But no matter, in this do-or-die semi-final, it is the home team, Great Britain, who have booked their place in the gold medal game. Germany, 68, Great Britain, 77. Germany will battle for bronze. Great Britain look to retain their title in the gold medal matchup. What a game, Ronald, what a game. I'm not sure that my heart can stand games like that. I'm getting too old for it. But GB just showed a little bit more composure in that 4th quarter, didn't they? And tournament basketball is all about finding your form at the right moment. Germany looked absolutely sensational in the early stages of the pool matches. But actually, as the tournament has gone on, the likes of Burma have just dipped slightly. GB, on the other hand, we've mentioned those early setbacks, but in the quarter-final and now in the semi-final, they have played their best basketball. Unbelievable contributions from some of the GB players. Bywater and Jammer, 22 points each. But to be honest, the likes of Gaz Chowdhury, Lee Manning, who came in for a limited opportunity but made the most of it, and that man Ian Segar, so important. They're all part of this win. Terrific team performance by Team GB. They go through to the gold medal game at this European Championships here on home soil. They now have Saturday to recover, and they will contest European Championship gold for the 3rd successive European Championship tournament. Abdi Jammer, the MVP, the 1-point classification player, poured in 22 points from the perimeter. 2 of them were buzzer beaters to end the 1st period and the 2nd period, and then in the 3rd and 4th period, well, the basket must have appeared as wide as the ocean, because under pressure from the wing, which is his type of area, or the free throw line extended, he found his range and produced a terrific shooting display. 11 for 17 from the field at 65%. That's outstanding. That's outstanding shot production from a 1-point classified player. Absolutely. When Abdi catches the ball, sometimes he just has to take that second to get his balance. But the thing that impresses me is the range. He can knock things down just inside the three-point line with ease. One of the great shooting displays, again by a one-point player. I called it in the Poland game, but this one tops it, I think, because it's in a semi-final and it's ensured that his team have another opportunity to win a gold medal, and it would be their third.
Third in succession is what Great Britain are aiming for. Celebrations all around. And Abdi Jama, quite rightly the man of the moment, but as Dan has pointed out, what an all-round contribution. Terry Bywater, 22 points for him as well. And there's confirmation of this result from the first men's semi-final. Who will they play in the gold medal game? That will be determined later on this evening, the final game of this semi-final day here at Worcester University. Turkey will take on the Netherlands, and the winner of that match will face Great Britain in the gold medal game. And there's one more women's semi-final to come as well. Who will face the Netherlands in the women's gold medal game on Sunday? Germany and Great Britain, the ones doing battle for that privilege. So that concludes the afternoon session here from the University of Worcester. We've had two gold medal contenders decided. It'll be the Netherlands for the women, it'll be Great Britain for the men. Two semi-finals coming up in the evening session, so make sure you join us for that. Abdi Jama still receiving the plaudits after an inspirational display, leading his team to a place in their third successive European Championship gold medal matchup. 22 points in the game for him. Great Britain through to contest European Championship gold once again.